Wholeness, welcome to Notes of Nara. This is Nadra Rashida here, and may this message find you well and whole. Today's topic, we're going to talk about soul starved, how to cope with these injured and harmful individuals or groups. It's kind of like a form of vampirism. Excuse me. Um, Soul starved. Be very cautious. Okay? So you have people who are soul fed, right? They are that's not about perfection, but they are fed. They're they're full of sustenance. They have depth when you speak to them. They are in the space of neutrality, balance. They're not too high, not too low. They know when to give a break for themselves. They know when to share. They know when to give self-care. They're an ease to be around. Okay? When someone's soul fed. Soul hunger is when you're fatigued, you're tired, and you're just at that cusp of like, I need to remove myself, I need to release, I need to hit the reset button. Soul starved is when you completely avoid your spiritual needs. You ignore your well-being. Your body is screaming. You develop ailments. You develop pain and dis-ease and imbalance in the body. You just become numb. And being around people that are soul starved, they are very out of touch. They're out of touch with their own reality. They're out of touch with the reality around them. And so they're going to be out of touch with your reality. But they like what you're giving off, right? You do the work. They don't know how to do the work. They know that they need to do the work. They don't know how. And so they're hoping on a subconscious level that you're going to show them. Rather them having to do the work, you're going to give them the sustenance and nurture and nourishment that they need to them, because they see that you are just exuding all this power and all this energy. And so they're like, why do I don't know how to get that myself, so they're going to feed me. Yeah, you can call that energy vampirism if you want. Go right ahead. That's fine. The soul starved people, be aware of them and give them the space they need. Make sure that there's distance. Because what do people who are actually physically starving do? Right? I've never seen a person starving in person, right? I've watched a documentary of people in third world countries, people who live in a society where food security is compromised. So, but I've never, if anything, I've been more around people who are soul starved rather than physical starvation. But my point is that when you are starving, your body, when you're physically starving, your body begins to eat the fat reserves in your body. Okay, it eats the unhealthy parts of you, unhealthy cells, unhealthy tissues. It's actually, fasting is a wonderful way to hit the reset button for your digestive system, for your whole body, actually, to go on certain food diets, mono diets. But complete dry fasting, for sure, your body is going to literally eat bad parts first. But then there comes a point where the body begins to eat the good stuff that keeps you alive. It begins to eat healthy tissue, healthy muscle, healthy cells in order to sustain itself, because you're not feeding it. And when humans throughout history are starving, they become primitive. Okay, some people just accept it. They accept the death. They accept the starvation. They die. They kill off and they die, or disease consumes the body and they die off. Others will preserve their life at any cost. And there have been multiple accounts of human beings who turn to cannibalism, okay, to sustain their life until they reach a point where, they're saved or their situation changes. Take that same concept and put it in, like, put on your metaphysical glasses, and you will see what I see and how I see it. Okay? Soul starved people act in the same way. Okay? F your feelings. I will put on any mask. I will make you believe in anything I need you to believe. I will come off as sincere as you want me to be. I will come off as genuine as you need me to be in order for me to feed my soul from you. And, when you have weak boundaries, my dear empath out there, my empaths and my sensitive folks, when your boundaries are underdeveloped, when your discernment is underdeveloped, you will get got by these people. Meaning, they will feed on you. Okay? It is the survival of their spirit, because they cannot receive food from their soul because their spirit, their gatekeeper, which is the spirit, is weak. It's harmed, it's weakened, it's imprisoned, it's dying, okay, in a way. And so it's too weak. A soul-starved person, their spirit is so weak, they don't have enough energy to open that gate to allow their soul to feed them what it needs. So they go to any source that's wide open, that has no boundaries, low self-esteem, or unhealed wounds that a lot of empaths have, and very, like I said, underdeveloped discernment. And so they'll stick their little energy hooks in you, and they feed, and they feed until they get their fill, and they feed some more. Until they get their fill, and they feed more and more and more and more and more from you. And usually those that are soul fed, they will eventually cut that off. Like, oh shit, you're feeding off of me. No, this isn't right. Because at first you're thinking as an empath that you're just, oh, let me help them heal. Here's more energy for you. Here, take it. Out of the goodness from my heart, take it all. And they are like, pub, don't even ask, I'm coming. And that's what happens until the spirit of the soul fed is like, I'm feeling a little off. I'm feeling a little weak. I'm feeling a little hurt. I'm feeling neglected. Okay, and ego's having its own like, oh my gosh, I'm healing this person. Look at me, I'm so amazing. Right? Ego's having a whole field day. But the spirit is like, excuse me, hey, I don't feel very good. But you think you're doing an awesome job by feeding this soul-starved person. And then your soul is looking at you like, whoa. Hey. Now an intuitive being usually is like, oh wait, soul is saying something. Yes, soul? And soul's like, hey, cut it. But soul, I love this person. This could be your mom, your dad, your best friend, your employer, your business partner, your lover, your child. But I love this person. I don't understand. They need my help. Ego's like, yeah, they need our help. And soul's like, okay, Titanic, anyone? Are we all going to go down? Right? And so on a spiritual level, your spirit's like, I know what I must do. And ego's like, but we're going to be single, or we're going to be alone, or they're not going to invite us to their birthday party or family events. We're going to be pushed out of our social circle. We're going to miss out on opportunities. Or I'm not going to get the best job opportunity because I'm leaving the job because blah, 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 blah. Like the ego creates its own story, you know? And the spirit's like, no, as gatekeeper of the soul, I have to make this decision. And so you cut it. You cut the supply off. Now, soul-starved people tend to, they get angry or they just don't F with you. Like, they're just like, oh, I can't mess with her. And they move right along. Or I can't mess with him. They just, usually time helps. Again, time. Time is on our side. Ooh. Time is on our side. When you're starving, you're not worried. You want things right now because it's all based on survival. And so soul-starved people push hard. They push fast. They have a motive. They have a goal. Come on, let's move in together right now. You're like, what? It's only been 2 months. Who cares? Let's move. Let's get married. Whoa. What? Hey, let's sign this business deal right now. Like, what? I don't think, and blink your... Soul-starved people, they gotta lock it down. They need to lock it down as fast as possible. They don't play around. If anything, soul-starved people are really good and meticulous at getting what they need because they're in survival mode. When you meet souls that are not in survival mode, it's almost like time becomes this beautiful cyclical pattern where the beginning, middle, and end just blend in together, and you can see and feel and just be super present, and you're just basking in a beautiful present, be here now vibe. There's no pressure. You can breathe. They can breathe. Right? It's this beautiful movement. But soul starved, it's like you get in a vehicle. It's almost like, no, not even a vehicle. You get on a roller coaster ride. And you're going so fast on the roller coaster that you end up just going right off the track of the roller coaster into the abyss of chaos. And then you crash land. Your life's a mess. You're like, how the F did I get here? What the F? What the actual... I'm trying not to curse so much. You know, like, what happened? And then they leave your ass behind to clean up the mess. You know? Or you leave them behind, but you still got to clean up a really big mess. A really big mess. Leave soul-starved people alone. Now, I'm going to hear people say, well, there's some lost souls out there that, you know, they have nowhere else to go. And that's a whole... It's a whole nother thing. If it's in your soul contract to be that beacon of light for people that need guidance and need direction, that's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about the situation where you know something's not right, the alarm bells are going off, red flags are trying to get your attention, and you have weak, underdeveloped discernment. You're thinking those butterflies are like love. No, those are your body's telling you run. Oh man, I used to believe that butterfly crap, and I love butterflies. I really believe, oh, that weird little feeling in my tummy means he's the one, or this is it, or this is a great opportunity. And it turns out to be something you really needed to just not include in your life. You know? Guys, if you're hearing this quack, 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 it's the Canadian geese in my area. I don't know what it is about this species of bird, but they are here to stay, man. Like, when I used to run, yes, I used to run. Now I'm protecting my knees. But when I would go running, they would always like, like hiss at me every time. They're a bit vicious, man. I've heard they chasing people and biting them and stuff. So I always pay my respects anytime I cross paths with them. But that's what if you hear a quack, 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 quack in the back, that's what I think they're probably mating or something. I don't know. Shout out to Canadian geese. Yeah, it's real out here in these streets, you know? And no, it's not a mind game. You're not playing games with people if you're keeping them at bay. Do that. In my 20s, man, gosh. You're just wide open. Wide open spaces. New places. It's like you're just like deer in the headlights. Everything's like, everyone's my friend. Yeah. You want to have a good time and love. Then you wise up real quick. So I learned to cut people off brutally. I'm getting better at not being so brutal, but it's better to just be brutal at the beginning than suffer brutality. And I'm not saying like causing harm or hurt towards another person. It's just, what I mean by brutal is just be very blunt. Be blunt and just curt. It saves time. Usually I do that through silence. I don't like confrontation usually. I always been, if I am confronted, and even my parents have said this, I can be kind of like, wow, Naja, like, okay. okay, like being a bit too honest. All right. I don't mean to. I don't want to like cause harm or disintegrate someone's character, but sometimes, that's why I do my best to be non-confrontal, because I like to, I'm forward thinking and where certain discussions and conversations can lead to. And if I'm completely my blunt, honest self with other people, as I am with myself, I try to be as honest and blunt with myself. And so it's like, yeah, it could be a bit harsh. But, I'd rather take harsh. Show me what you're about. You know what I'm saying? Don't hide. Ooh. People who try to hide because they're soul starved, and they're very nefarious. Very nefarious. And so you can love them and send love and light from afar. Just when you know that someone hasn't eaten in a while. Metaphysically speaking, please feed someone who's hungry, okay? Don't. Some of you guys, the comments will take some things that I say so literally, and I'm like, I'm concerned. That's, that's not what I meant. But, please don't, I'm not saying don't feed the hungry. This is metaphysics. This is spiritual talk and consciousness, symbolism. Okay. Metaphor. Feed them love. Feed them, write a letter of prayer. Like, I ask the source of infinite intelligence and womb of all creation, please help this soul in their name with this issue that they may be facing. Any and all blockages, may they be dissolved. May they receive messages from the soul to help heal their spirit, blah, 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 blah. Love your name. You read it a few times, burn it, fold it, keep it, say prayer on it, burn a candle around it. I don't know. Like, do whatever you do, but don't try to feed them yourself, especially if you know that you know their true state. Don't gloss over what you're being shown. This is a warning. Don't gloss over a truth that has been revealed to you. It's going to hurt you, and it's going to hurt them too. Suffering, sometimes is the key to awakening. Suffering is unavoidable. But if we all have a choice. We have free will. So you can choose to go along with something. That business contract, business partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, marriage, child, who keeps, being irresponsible and thinking that you're going to come and save them and every little F up that they commit, right? You go ahead, choose that. But then you have to ask yourself, am I creating more suffering in the long run for this person and for myself? Suffering is unavoidable. I don't like it. I don't. At 36, I'm realizing how much suffering there is in this world. Because, I'm in that middle-aged state of like, oh, do I want kids? Do you want kids? No, I don't want kids. And you think about your own mortality in my mid-30s as a singleton. And I'm like, there's so much suffering. You can live in a third world country and you're starving and trying to fight to keep yourself alive and your family with very low access to proper education or medical care. You know what I'm saying? And then the government's corrupt and it's keeping you and your loved ones down and you can't get out. Or you can live in a first world country and you live a privileged life. You have access to oil, to put gas in your car. You have money to buy groceries, anything that you want to eat. You have access to clothes. You have access to do anything that you want with your spare time when you're not working. But you live in a society that's trying to imprison your consciousness. And this induces suffering. And you feel like you can't get out. So it's like there's nowhere to run. We can't run away from anything. All we can do is be mindful and heartful. Keep the mind and heart together. Don't divorce the mind and heart. Keep the mind and heart together. Marry your mind and heart. Right? Marry the intellect and the intuition. And show compassion to those who need it. But do not jeopardize yourself. Do not jeopardize your health. Don't jeopardize whatever life you're building for yourself in the sake of an egoic high. It was an egoic high to have a successful relationship. For me. This is a confession. It was, if I have a successful relationship, that's all that matters. And I would focus primarily on the connection itself, not the person. And then when the person wasn't living up to my idealistic version of a relationship, I would penalize them. I would criticize. Okay? And that was unhealthy. That was unhealthy. And a lot of us lose focus of the actual human being in front of us in our relationships, platonic or romantic. And we create this version of what we want the other to be. You can't do that. I've done that. For a long time I would do that. You cannot have that much control and domination on someone who's just trying to be themselves, or a person who doesn't even know who they are. And so they keep failing to reach your standard or your idea because they don't know who the F they are. So how, if they don't even know who they are, how can they ever meet your idea of what they should be? And on top of that, you don't even know who you are. And I've had that too, where I didn't know myself as much, and I created all these, and then when the relationship didn't work out, it was a failure. Oh no. And it's like, and in some way that was my own soul starvation, right? Oh yes, I'm not above anybody here. Not in the least. No, no, no. No. I'm serious about self-study though. And people can say, oh, that's selfish. It's like, okay. I know myself though. I think to not know yourself is dangerous. You cause much, much more suffering to other people when you don't put in the time to know yourself. Yeah? Okay. Enough of this video. Let me know what you think, and may you find this message find you if it's meant to be. Again, disclaimer. These are just my own personal insights. You can call them egoic or whatever. It is what it is. I don't think it's all ego. These are just things I feel guided to share. So, take care.